Very good morning to everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How was your weekend? All right, so my name is George Essien, and I'm delighted to be with you. It's Monday morning, so great and a brand new week. Expectations are that this week will turn out very fine. I would encourage you to set your goals. I would encourage you to plan and to strategize, be more strategic about your day. And like I said, and as I promised, every Monday we will be talking about money. Every Monday we'll be talking about generate value. There are exciting materials. There's this one by Ann Baba and Lee. Ann Baba and Lynn. It make your contacts count. We'll be talking a lot about contacts. And it's a book that I discovered, I think 2 years ago. I kept it in my library, but I haven't read it. So it's important that you get a book like this. This book will really help you. It will help you to become better as an entrepreneur, because one thing you need to understand about entrepreneurship is that you need to expand your network. There's another book I recommend for entrepreneurs and for people, and that book is it's actually Harvard Business Review material, articles from different authors. HBR's 10 Most Read, and it's called On Managing People. They have different series, and this is one material that will come in very handy for you as a speaker or as a trainer, as a person who is a leader. You need that book. I also have this book here. Last week, Leap Africa, I do some mentoring programs for Leap Africa. I mentor some of the core members that come into my state. I mentor a few of them, and they gave me a book. One of them gave me a book. The book is titled Passing the Baton, a guide to building sustainable businesses. I really need to read this book. Actually, those are the 3 books I'm reading this week. I'll start with this, Passing the Baton. Let me start seeing and knowing how I can build sustainable businesses. Is so important. So we're talking about money today, how to raise cash for business. If you know anybody, go get somebody to come around and join us. Let's learn about how to make money, how to generate fundraising strategies. How can we generate strategies for your business, and not just generate strategy, generate the fund for your business, the funding for your business. I'm going to be reading a lot from and teaching a lot from this book. I wrote this book some 14 years ago. It's titled How to Make It Anywhere. You don't want to look at the cover. It's a long time, 14 years ago. This is probably the only copy I have of that book. And about chapter 5, page 43, talks about how to raise funds for your business. So if you're ready, let's go. If you're ready, let us go. Let's talk about how to raise funds for your business. All right, so you don't have a money problem. What you do have is an idea problem. Write that down. You don't have a money problem. What you do have is an idea problem. You don't have a money problem. What you do have is a network problem. You don't have a fund problem. What you do have is a friendship problem. What you do have is a friendship problem. The law states that ideas attract money. Vision attracts provision. The soundness of the idea determines the flow of income. When a man of money meets a man of ideas or experience, exchange occurs invariably. When a man of money meets a man of ideas, exchange occurs. Every time there is no exchange, when a man of money meets a man of ideas, there's a problem, not with the availability of cash, but with the idea. So a lot of times, when people have concepts, projects, visions, the problem is not with the funding. The problem always is with the idea. And somehow we have not come to that point where we have authenticated ideas. So the goal and the idea basically is to work on your idea, make it magnetic enough, because your ideas are supposed to be magnetic. They're supposed to be so sound, so valid, so profound. When the investor sees it, he runs. He's interested in investing. The problem a lot of people have. Are you hearing me now? Are you hearing me now? Can you hear me now? Let me know if you're hearing me. Someone was saying no volume. Can you hear me now? Upon, can you hear me now? Is there volume? Is there volume? Okay. All right. So, Kingsley, it's good to know that at least it's clear from your side. All right. So, ideas are quite important. We have loads of ideas, but the problem is that those ideas are not authentic. They are not authenticated. They are not valid. They are not profound enough. We need to begin working with great ideas. A few years ago, a young man was in a meeting, and somebody asked a very powerful question. And the question was like, what would you do if you want to raise money? And how would you generate the money? And one person from the participant raised his hand and said, I won't look for money, money will look for me. And the instructor asked, why would money look for you? He said, because of the soundness of my idea. So here's the point. Make sure that your idea is sound. Make sure that your idea is sound, it's valid, it's concrete. Because when a man of money meets a man of ideas, exchange occurs. That's the first law you must understand. Ideas are supposed to be magnetic. Ideas gravitate towards towards resources, and resources gravitate towards money. I learned that a long time ago. In 2007, I learned something that turned my life around. I learned about this concept about making sure that my idea was sound enough, making sure that my idea was magnetic, making sure that my idea was valid, making sure that my idea was profound. And the question that should go in your mind now is, how do I make my idea solid? How do I make my idea profound? Here's what you should do. First of all, write this down now. Write down your ideas. Idea in the head is not good enough. The idea must be written down on paper. Now, the moment you start to write down your ideas, a challenge comes. You start seeing the vagueness, the unrealistic nature, the fact that you are just too excited, that it's not concrete enough. Sometimes we have very brilliant ideas in our heads, but when they're on paper, they're not as brilliant. So you write that idea down. And then the next thing to make an idea sound and profound is that you convert your ideas into plans. Write that down. You convert your idea into a plan. For an idea to be sound, it must be a plan. A plan is a written down idea. It's a written down idea that answers questions. Write that down. A plan is an idea, it's a written down idea that answers questions. In this case, a plan is an idea written down that answers the investor's questions. So you preempt, you anticipate what the investor, the man who will give you money, the customer or the investor, the person you are expecting to get money from, will be asking you, and then you answer those questions on paper. So it's not enough to have a brilliant idea. It's more than that. You've got to write it down, and you've got to begin to see how you answer questions. For example, one question that the investor will ask you is, what is in it for me? So your idea or your plan should have answered the question, what is it in? What's in for? What's the benefits? That's the word. What's the benefits for the investor? It has to answer that question, and it has to answer that question clearly. Very clearly. A lot of our ideas are very selfish. It's about me, what we want to achieve, what our goals, our visions, what we want to do. We never really think about who is giving us money and what the person is going to benefit. A lot of people may not be interested in your cash interest or maybe a stake. Some people, they want their egos to be flamed. They want recognitions. They want to be significant in your project. So sometimes it's not about money. Many times it could be about significance, ego. All right, so the idea has to be very, very sound. It has to be very sound. The idea has to be sound, has to be authenticated. And by that I mean the idea has to be a plan. A plan. A plan is an idea written down on paper. Okay? And the plan answers questions, the investor's questions. What is in it for him? Like having so much network issues. But I hope you're flowing with what we said. We said that, of course, when a man of money meets a man, we also said that ideas are practically everything. All right. We also said when you want to raise money, you're also thinking about the people that you are going to meet, the people that you're going to connect with. In 2007, I had the privilege, brilliant idea. I had a good idea, and I wrote it down on paper, and I met someone. The person gave me my first 1 million naira. What did I say to that person? How did I get that person to buy in? It's based on what I've just shared with you. For those of you who are following, first of all, I had a clear idea, a great idea. I authenticated the idea. I made sure the idea answered the questions that make. In 2013, of applying for a business, they asked us again for your business proposal. And I was able to get 10 million naira from that conversation. I had a conversation with a panel of 4. I wrote my business plan. I was able to raise 10 million naira. How was I able to? In 2017, I worked on a project. I was able to get 13 people to raise a certain amount of money. The sum of we invested that money in the business, and we generated from that project 32 million naira. So I'm telling you these figures because I want you to know that it is possible to raise funds and it's possible to raise resources for any project you are doing right now. A lot of young people come to me and tell me, George, I want to start a business. I have this product. I need funds. And when I really take my time to study and realize that it's all about them, the product is very selfish. The product is about what they want to get, what they want to achieve, never about what the people want to get, the investors are going to gain. Because you know what? The investors crave for information. The point I'm trying to make in all of this is that you've got to work on your idea. Any idea that is not good enough to raise funds is not good enough to be called a great idea. When we have strategic meetings sometimes and I'm having conversations with people and they tell me, George, there's this brilliant idea, and they throw that idea to me, the first thing I tell them is, have you thought about how that idea will raise funds? Have you answered the money question? If that idea doesn't answer the money question, if it does not answer the money question, brilliant idea, most likely will trash it. So work on your ideas. Convert your ideas into a plan. And what did I say? If you're taking down notes, a plan is an idea written down that answers the investor's questions. Now I'm going to give you another very important point here. Convert your into strategy. What's a strategy? For those of you who've been listening to me long enough and you've read my books, read my materials, you know that I say that a strategy is a plan that has outwitting the competitor at the back of your mind. So when you're answering the question, how to navigate, how to maneuver, how to go through obstacles that you may come across when you are doing your business. So you answer that question. Once you have a plan that answers marketing penetration, when you have a plan that answers overcoming the competitions and the competitor, then you really have what is good and what the strategy is. So first, convert your ideas into a plan, convert your ideas into a strategy. The next very important thing that you want to do that is important is to convert your idea into a goal. Convert your idea into a goal. Now, a goal is an idea that has a timeline. There is a date. You know, oftentimes when we don't put a date and a time for when we are going to achieve, when we're going to raise that money, there is a lackadaisical attitude about our approach. But when there is a deadline, when there is a timeline, there is pressure, there is tension, and that tension and that pressure is important because it pushes you, it drives you, it forces your creative juice to show up. It causes you to be a lot more creative. So have a plan, convert your ideas into a plan, convert into a strategy. Timeline. When you have a timeline, you're more likely going to achieve that goal. Doesn't make any sense. All right, so you don't deliberately networking. You want to deliberately network, deliberately and intentionally network with people, because when you network with people, you're going to get the funds you're looking for. So let's start with the first. Pay attention. This is where we're going to the practical part. The first ones. The first people that will give you money for your business are your customers. Write that down. The first people that will give you money for your business are your customers. Now, what you do basically is work on the idea, make sure that the idea answers the customer's questions and troubles, make sure the idea solves the problem of the customer, then present it to the customer. Ask the customer to do a pre-order, to give you money before getting the product. And pay attention, because this is important. For a businessman, communication is important. Your ability to communicate the value of the product that the customer should expect is vital. When you're able to communicate that value to the customer will most likely part away with money and give to you, with the expectation that you produce that product, you create that product and raise money. So beautiful. So beautiful. I've done that severally. You see people who are smart guys, they want to write a book, and then they'll do the ebook version of it. And when they do the ebook version of it, guess what they'll do next? They will tell people who want to buy, they'll write a sales copy, a very powerful sales copy. They'll communicate the value and tell people to pre-order. In fact, they'll tell people that the amount of the book, let's say it's 5,000 naira. But for those who will pre-order, who will order ahead of time, will give you at so and so amount of money, maybe 3,000 naira or 3,500. So people will now start rushing to pay money for a product they have not seen. That's a fantastic way to raise money. You either raise money from your customers or you raise money from the investor. So they pre-order that product. So pre-order is a very fantastic way to raise money for your business, and you can do that. Get your customers to pre-order your products, your ideas, to pay ahead, especially at a discount, and you raise money for the business. The other set of persons you're going to raise money from are investors. Investors. These are also people. Like I said, you don't have a money problem. What you do have is a network challenge or a people challenge. And the first set of persons we talked about here are your customers. Second set of persons we're looking at, pay attention now, are the investors. So we have some kinds of investors. We have people we call venture capitalists. Write the word down, venture capitalist. Who is a venture capitalist? Now, this is not a project, this is not a concept very common in Nigeria, because a lot of people don't know how to invest in dreams, invest in ideas. Steve Jobs was a venture capitalist. He had millions of dollars set aside to invest in small companies. In Silicon Valley, we have a lot of venture capitalists, people looking out for new tech guys who have projects, who have ideas, who have concepts, and then they want to invest. The Jews are also majorly venture capitalists. They practice venture capitalism. Facebook, what we're using, the platform, had some investors show up at some point and they've invested their money, they have some interest in it, venture capitalism is quite a very powerful to raise money, to get funds. So there are people like Jack Ma, Strive Masinwa, and a few others around Africa and around the world who invest in startups, who invest in entrepreneurs, who invest in businesses. What you want to do is connect with them. And in connecting with them, you've got to be able to properly communicate value. When you are able to communicate value, you will get this venture capitalist to invest in you. Now, a venture capitalist has the resources you're looking for. When he puts his, I didn't mention Tony Elumelu also does some kind of venture capitalism. When a venture capitalist puts money into your business, he expects to get a stake and interest, a return on investment. It's not a loan. He's going to be a partner. He's going to be a stakeholder, a shareholder in your business. And venture capitalists sometimes have businesses here and there, and there are many. All right. So if you're able to communicate the value of your business, how that it solves a problem, how that the marketing is right, the product is great, how that it is the frequency. It has great returns on investment. Venture capitalists will give you money, and you need venture capitalists sometimes in your life to move your business forward. So what Donny Lemelu does is that he gives you seed capital, gets you to start, and then when he sees your business moving forward, he tells you, what, can I add more money? Can I give you more money? But here's my stake in it. So the other kind of investors you have are called angel financiers. Write that down. We call it angel financing. Who is an angel financier? An angel financier is somebody who is like a venture capitalist, but what he does is that he gives you money for your project. He gives you money for your project, but does not expect anything in return. He gives you money for your project, for your business, and does not expect anything in return. One of the prayers we usually will pray is, Lord, send my way, bring my way angel financiers. You need angel financiers. And they are there, they are available. How do you connect with the venture capitalists? How do you connect with the angel financier? You connect with those two, pay attention now, by communicating value. You connect with those two by answering the questions they have predominant in their mind. And the questions they have predominant in their mind is, what is in it for me? That's a challenge with a lot of entrepreneurs. The problem is not with the availability of resources. The problem often is with the idea, the authenticity of the idea, the value of the idea. The problem often is the way you communicate the value to the investor. So you see, there is a lacuna. The communication is vital. Communication is vital. And that's why every entrepreneur must learn public speaking. We call it pitching. You must learn how to pitch. When you pitch your business, you are learning and you're understanding how to communicate value. So the problem with a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't know how to pitch. Pitch to the customer. That's the one person you need. Pitch to the venture capitalist when you have the opportunity. Pitch to the angel financier. I'll give you one more person that can help you. We have people called the third party guarantor or the third party guarantee. Now, a third party guarantor is somebody who respects you or somebody who has observed you over a period of time and knows that you are credible and competent and is willing to part away, not necessarily give you money, to stand and say, I shorty this guy. Whoever wants to give him money, give him money. If he fails in paying money, I will pay for him. So you need a third-party guarantor. That's another way to raise funds. How do you get a third-party guarantor? Pay attention. You get a third-party guarantor by being credible. So you often hear people say in business circle that credibility is capital. Credibility is capital. It will enable you to get a third-party guarantor to stand for you as you approach the venture capitalist. It will enable you to get a third-party guarantor to stand for you as you approach the venture capitalist. It will enable you get the third-party guarantor to stand for you as you engage the customers. So does it make any sense at all? Now, the other set of investors you need in your life, pay attention now, is what we call family and friends. Now, my take for business owners or young startups who want to go look for loans from banks, I often will tell them, don't be quick to go to the bank to look for a loan for any product, whether it's a book you want to write, a business you want to start. No. Don't be quick to go to the bank. The bank should be the last place you go to when you want to raise funds. The first place, the first port of call should be your family and your friends. So now, of course, you know your families. You know your families already. You know how that's the financial status. You know what they can do. All right. So let's talk about your friends. Your friends. Now, this is very, very critical. Your friends. What kind of friends do you have? What kind of friends do you have? What kind of friends do you have? If you go through your phone right now and you check the quality of friends, how many of them can give you 10,000 naira each? If, for example, you need to raise 100,000 naira in a week, can you scroll through your phone and call 10 people in that contact, and then they each give you 10,000 naira each? Can you do that? If you have a project of 1 million naira, can you talk to certain contacts in your phone and get each of them to give you a part of it and expect the funds later? Can you do that? Can you do that? So you see, most of us need to go back and start looking at the quality of our friends. Look at the quality of your friends, because you see, when you want to raise funds, people will give you the money you're looking for. Somebody has the resources you're looking for. Go back and look at the quality of your friends. Does it make any sense? Go back and look at the quality of your friends. So family and friends, okay, so don't go to the bank to go raise money, because you see, if you go to the bank will give you money, but they will add some interest. And when you don't pay the money in due course, you get into issues. They would liquidate your collateral. They would take the resources you have. So you want to be very careful. In fact, I tell startups, don't start by going to the bank to get resources. Start your business first, the way you can. Start what you have, where you are. As you grow in that business, then and you see how the business works, you see the patterns, you see the cash flow, you understand the business, you can now eventually say, okay, let me go look for the bank. The first place to go to is your family, another place to go to is with your friends. Does it make any sense at all? I'm not making any sense. All right, so your friends, quite important. Quality of your friends. How do you increase the quality of your friends? I'll tell you some tips. First of all, you need to deliberately change your circle, deliberately change your environment. Most of you are going to the wrong clubs. Most of you are not in the right association. You're not in the right club. You're not in the right committee. You're not in the right association. You need to change. You need to start joining new clubs, joining new associations. And by the way, rich people join clubs. Rich people join cooperatives. Rich people join associations. They're in some investment club, they're in some book club, there's some great church, there's some structural community gathering, because they know that your contact determines your contract and your network determines your net worth. So you deliberately break into those circles, and once you break in there and you add value in those circles, you become valuable enough to be their friend. The moment you are their friend, you have them as contact. Now, some of them may not give you money. I want to encourage you to be quick to ask for resources. But in sharing ideas, if those ideas are fantastic, they may want to invest. They may want to serve as venture capitalists. They want to serve as angel financiers. Or they want to give you ideas as consultants to take your business to the next level. Is this making sense? Is this making sense? So friends and family. Now, there's another way to raise money I'd like to suggest to you. Write the word down. I'll spell it so that you can know it. PIGGYBACKING. PIGGYBACKING. It's called piggy backing. Piggy backing. How does this work in raising funds? Creatively raising funds. Okay, how do I start with this now? Because there are many ways you can work with it. You want to do a fundraising for an event. You put the event together, you get some celebrity, musical celebrity, comedian, actor, entrepreneur, whoever the celebrity is, you get him, you find a way to get him to your event. His presence at your event is going to give you a lot of leverage. And so if you're going to raise funds, you're most likely going to raise funds that way because you have a celebrity joining you. Find a way to get people who matter to be part of your project. Find a way to partner with people to be part of your project who are very influential, so you can ride on their back. So piggybacking is riding on the back of somebody who already has the financial clout or the influence to get the resources you're looking for. There's this time that a friend of mine wanted to meet Fela Durotoye. He wanted, the ultimate goal was for him to get Fela to write the foreword of his book. And so Fela had an event somewhere in Lagos, and the event was whether for 25k or 50k. I can't remember the exact amount. This guy found a way to raise money and then paid for that event, traveled to Lagos, was in that event, and because people who pay that kind of money, Fela was interested. Not many people pay that money, so Fela was excited about meeting this guy who paid 50,000. I think it was 50,000 for that event. So he was able to get the personal phone number of Fela Durotoye, and I mean, it was a full day session. So they connected, they talked, they related, they did icebreakers and so on. So it was quite exciting, and Fela was excited to meet everyone who paid that amount of money to be part of it. Now, when he was going, he met Fela and said, Fela, I want to establish friendship with you more. I have this project I'm working on, and I'd like you to be part of it. Oh, no problem, reach out to me. Subsequently, they had conversations. It led to the fact that Fela agreed to write the foreword of his book. Now, that is piggybacking. This guy comes back online, writes a sales copy, tells customers that, look, I'm producing a book, we're working on the book is almost ready, and it's forwarded by the very great Fela Durotoye and me. I will put this book together, blah, 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 blah. You can pre-order. And so because Fela was forwarding, that added credibility to that book and that project, people started to give money. People gave money without seeing the book. He went, took that money, did the ebook version, sent to them, sold some ebook versions of it, produced hard copies, and did the launching. So you see, you've got to be very creative about this. So piggybacking is a very, very powerful way. It's a very powerful way to raise funds for your business. All right, let's look at some other very interesting ways to raise funds for your business. Are you ready for them? Let's talk about partnership. Partnership. I hope you're writing down these thoughts. Partnership. You have a partner who is interested. You always have a partner who is interested in business with you. Okay, so let me just give you rules of partnership because it helps you understand this financial raising strategy. You have an idea. The partner has money. Good partnership. You have an idea with technical expertise. The person also has idea and complementary technical expertise. That's not good financial partnership. Both of you will need to cluster as one and still look for somebody who will give you funding. Just as easy as that. So you have an idea, look out for somebody who has the funds, the resources you're looking for, communicate the value and get the person to give you funding. So partnership is good. Now, if a couple of my friends were talking the other day, and we just realized that in Africa, we don't have plenty partnership businesses. Very few partnership businesses have succeeded in Africa. Have you noticed that? Very few. Very, very few. In fact, you can count them number behind them because we don't know how to do partnership businesses. Very, very few. So, how do you run a partnership business and succeed at it? Now, whenever you are doing a partnership business, pay attention. This is so important. Make sure that you write an agreement. Make sure you write an agreement whenever you're doing a partnership. Even if the partner is your friend, even if the partner is your brother, make sure you have an agreement. The agreement should be written down on paper. Someone says, no, he's my friend, we can do business. No, sir, that same business can get you guys into trouble. Right? Even if the person has resources to give, make sure there's an agreement. And then also, make sure that in that agreement, you spell out who the leader is, who the CEO of the business is. You have to spell it out clearly. If you're going to do any partnership business, spell out who the CEO, who is the one that's on the wheels of this business. It's so important. Then number 3, A partnership business doesn't have to be forever. In the agreements that you're writing down, include the fact that after every 6 months or 1 year, the agreement will be reviewed. That saves you a lot of stress, because partnership doesn't have to be forever. I tell you, partnership is a fantastic way, a great way to get into business, but make sure you follow the rules. It doesn't have to be forever. Let us establish the fact who is the CEO of the partnership, and then make sure that you're looking out for somebody who has resources, not just a person who also has technical expertise. That's how to do partnership. Partnership is a fantastic way to raise funds. I'm going to talk about 2 more ideas, and then we'll call it a day. Another way to raise funds for your business is to have what I call board of directors and board of trustees. So if you are a business owner, you want to start a business, the first thing you should do as a young person, I learned this very young. Well, very young. I learned at the age of 25. I was 25. My father, who happens to be a professor, when he saw that I didn't want to take a paid employment, and he saw my entrepreneurial ingenuity, he saw the fact that I was passionate, I was enthusiastic about training, about books, about ideas, about information marketing. He told me, register a business. So in 2008, he took me to CAC, and he got me to register Learn and Earn Ventures, that has evolved today to Learn and Earn Training Systems. Now, that has become one of the many certifications or registrations, that's the word, registrations I have done in the years. But that singular act turned my life around, because with a CSC certificate of my business, I was able to go to the bank and have a bank account. I quickly had a bank account for my company. Had a bank account for my company. You know, when people want to do business with you, and then you and they want to give you money, you've communicated so much value, and you're supposed to say, so let's start. And then you're telling them, pay the money into my own personal account. It doesn't work that way. And there was a time I was to take my family out, travel out of the state out, and the travel agency, the first travel agency I got across to, what done the budget, it was almost $500,000, for the trip. And I was ready to pay. So I asked the travel agency, send me your account details. And guess what the person sent me? He sent me his personal account details. I called him, I told him, I can't do business with you. I can't send this amount of money to your personal account. I can't. All right? I can't do that. Okay, so I called the next person. Okay, I want to travel with my family out to so and so place. Send me your account. Send me blah blah. We discussed. I agreed on the price. Send me account. He sent me a company account, and within a short period of time, I transferred the money to him. Don't do business without having a company account name, a bank account, a company bank account. And to get a company bank account, you need to go and register in CSC. A lot of people don't know this. The investor will take you seriously. So when I raised my first 1 million naira in 2007, when I finished communicating the value to this guy, the guy was like, okay, fine, great. Let's see the details. I show him the details. Okay, I want to send money. I want to send you money. And right there and then, there was a bank account, a company bank account. The first thing that got into the mind of that investor, this guy is serious. This guy is serious. Does it make any sense? So you see people when they even sell information marketing, you want to sell information marketing, you see guys who do copies, and then they put their personal account. I look at them, it's ridiculous. I don't join. No matter how smart or great you think your business or your idea is, and you're advertising on social media, and you post your personal account, I personally don't take you seriously. I personally do not take you seriously. I'll look at your copy, I'll read it, I feel you're good, but I won't pay money into your personal account. When we're doing business, let me pay money into your company account. CSC today is 10,500 naira. Highest is 20k. You want to take it a step not higher and do limited liability, or want to have a limited liability company, you can do it for less than 50k. Less than 50k. You want to do something like foundation, we'll talk about that in a short while. But here's the point I'm trying to make. Get your business registered. In doing that, you will need to involve what I call the board of directors. Board of directors are usually common in a limited liability company, and they will raise money for you. You want to eat the business on your own. There is no business that is big. No business that doesn't have a board of directors. Board of directors. In the board of directors, you have the governing chairman, you have members of the board. You should have a board. And what is stopping you as a small startup to have a board? Most of these board of directors will not even look for a stake. They just want to support you as a young person. Construct your business in that light. Position yourself as someone who has a future. Get your business registered with CAC. Get a bank account. That's where the money is going to come into. Meet a few guys. Tell them about your great idea. Communicate the value. Most of them will support you. Some will say, you know what, I want to support you and I'm expecting this interest. I'll give you 5 years. Do the business. In 5 years' time, we'll look at the books. One of the things, my company is about 12 years old, 13 years old right now, going 13. We have records of every money, every resource that we have records of it. We even have a software where we keep, records of all of that stuff. So that people can come, and if you want to access my books, I can easily just take my books and give to you. Does it make any sense to you? That's what shows, you've got to show capacity to get capital. Capacity precedes capital. Write that down. Capacity precedes capital. A lot of times, we don't have the capacity to receive what we're expecting. You want 5 million naira, you don't have the capacity. Someone says that, George, you got 10 million naira. That's basically, people would say, how did I had capacity. I raised my capacity. I spent time to build my capacity. So build your own capacity. So you have board of directors. You also have what I call board of trustees. Now, what's different between a board of director and a board of trustees? Board of directors and board of trustees. Board of trustees are similar. They are also stakeholders in your business, but most times they may not be interested in a stake or something. They're just there. They just give advisory. They're advisors, or they give advice, and all that. And you don't necessarily have to be the chairman of the board. You're the founder. You're the CEO. You don't have to be the chairman of the board. Now, Microsoft, Bill Gates has a board. Microsoft has a board. Bill Gates right now is not the CEO of Microsoft. He has resigned. He's the founder and probably the chairman. Positions, that's the trustees can give you money. Now, you always notice that trustees or board of trustees are more prominent in foundations and charity organizations. So for those of you who want to do projects, who have foundations you want to start, oh my God, register your foundation. I have 2 foundations registered. How much does it cost to register a foundation? With about 200K, you would register your foundation. Most of you have not been saving. Save the money, and then register your foundation. Get it registered, because you see, you position yourself for funding when you have structure and capacity. Register your foundation. Now, last year, we did close to $6,000 from foreign donors for my foundation. We do what we call the Give Back project. Most of you who follow me on Facebook, you know that we do a Give Back project every year in December. And we did a give. We were able to raise $6,000, and the previous year we got $1,000 plus or so. $6,000. We also raise funds for people. And when money is paid to the foundation account. There are foundations. There are foundations in the world today. The Ford Foundation, big foundations. There are companies, corporate organizations that are willing to give you funding for your project, for your idea, but you are not ready. Your idea is sound. In fact, you know how to communicate it well, but you do not show structure. There is no structure. There is no registry. You're not registered. If they ask you, where's your board? You don't have a board. It's all about you. How can your business, how can your foundation be all about you, for heaven's sake? You don't do that. So you create your foundation, you have your certification, and then you position for funding. Another thing that will help you raise funds from foreign agencies and donor agencies that will give you funding is documentation. Structure, capacity, documentation. Now, keep records of all your activities, pictures of your activities, what you have done. I often tell people, so when you have an idea, start first. Money will join you along the way. Start small, grow big. Start with what you have. Keep records. All the activities you have done, the books, the financing, what you've done, keep records of it. document video coverages, keep records of it, because when people want to give you funding, they will look out for whether you have capacity, whether you've been consistent, whether there's some kind of credibility, and you can show them these things, and then you raise funds for it. Board of directors and board of trustees can help you raise funds for the business. Again, I'm going to talk about the last thing today, and then after we talk about this last thing, we'll call it a wrap today. Tomorrow, or next time we'll meet on Monday, we'll look at we'll explore other ways. We'll also go into when to take money from the bank. We're also going to the 11 laws of borrowing from the bank. 11 laws of borrowing. When to borrow, when to take money from the bank, and so on and so forth. But let's talk about one very important part that I think I gave a tip last week Monday, and that is about cooperatives. Cooperatives. What do I mean by cooperatives? People coming together to form, clusters. Very easy way to waste money. So either you join a cooperative or you form your own cooperative and you raise funds. Become thrifty. Okay, I'm going to add one more. Savings, your personal savings. You don't have an income problem. What you do have is a management problem. I gave you an exercise last week, and I said to you, have a booklet where you document your income and your expenses and then total it at the end of the month. If you did that exercise, and if you're doing that exercise, at the end of this month, at the end of 30 days, you'll be surprised how much money has come to you. How much money has come to you, and how much money are you really saving? When you save, you are saving. You see, when you don't know really, W. Clement Stone once said that if you don't save, the seed of greatness is not in you. I agree with him. When you save for investment. Don't just save for saving's sake. Save for investment. The way I run my business, when money comes into my money, I allocate them into different portions, and they go into different channels, into different pools. One of them goes into a saving pool that is eventually supposed to be for investment. Now, it's important you say, because saving also enables you to start your business, to start your project. No investor will give you money if he's not sure that you have something. You should have something. They ask you, come on, okay, what is the thing you have? How much have you raised for this business? You say, I know, I'm looking for money. I won't give you money. What is your risk? What amount of risk are you putting? Bring out what you have. Tell us what you have. I have 2,000, I have 10,000, I have 500,000, and I'm looking for 10 million. That shows that you have capacity. So I've highlighted a lot of things today. That you don't have a money problem. What you do have is a network problem. You don't have a money problem. What you do have is an idea problem. So I'm reviewing because I'm about to round off. And I'm saying that work on your idea. How do you work on your idea? Document your idea on paper as a plan. What is a plan? A plan answers the questions in the mind of the investor or the customer. A plan, a business plan. A plan, a very important plan. Work on your pitch. A pitch is the communication of the plan, and you should be able to communicate the plan valuably in a manner that is very, very consistent, in a manner that is very powerful. Number 3, have a strategy. Answer the obstacles, because you see, the investor will tell you this obstacle. How do you solve it? What the competition? This risks. How do you mitigate the risks? Solve that. The next thing that you want to think about is you worked on the idea, you worked on the plan, you have a strategy, a goal. Put a deadline. This is when we're going to flag off. This is when we're going to do this business, and that's very important. And then the last, we also moved on from idea and said we're going into people. That people will give you money, right? We said that. And we said that you either get money from your customers or from your investors. We said to get money from your customers, you pre-order. Work on your products, pre-order it. Get them to pre-order. We also said from investors, we mentioned investors like venture capitalists. They will put money, they'll give you money if you communicate value to them sufficiently, but they will need a stake. We said angel financiers. Angel financiers will give you money without expecting any return to you. We now said piggy backing. These guys, they don't need to give you money. Just by partnering with them, they can help you raise the funds you're looking for. We said third-party guarantee. Third-party guarantors are people who can stand by you, who will be willing to pay the money for a loan you get or for whatever resources you're going to get. And for you to get third-party guarantors, you need to have credibility. We said that, right? And many other thoughts. We now said, okay, finally, we now talked about board of directors and board of trustees. And for you to have a board of directors and board of trustees, you need to start thinking structure, capacity, documentation. And then we talked about today cooperative. Form a cooperative, join a cooperative to know how it works, or form a cooperative. And then we also talked about the importance of savings. Did that make any sense at all? If I didn't make any sense, I'd like you to like this video. I'd like you to share the video. I like to show people so they can learn, and I also like you to watch it again. Next week we will look at some more. We'll talk about a lot. I wrote all of those ideas in this book many years ago. I'm looking at it again and I'm wondering. We'll share how you can communicate and get money. There's a way to speak, to pitch and get money from anybody. There's a way to speak and pitch, and that's why I tell entrepreneurs, make sure that you understand public speaking. Make sure you understand selling. All right, and that's over there. So next week we're also going to be looking at many other ways to raise funds, how to establish relationship with people, how to get that man that can give you money to give you money. We're looking at persuasion. We'll also be looking at the commandment of borrowing, how to borrow and pay back. We'll also be looking at we're looking at commandment of borrowing. We're looking at when to go to the bank to raise money, when to go to the bank to get money from them, why should you and when should you get money. And we're also exploring other ways to creatively raise funds. I will tell you some incredible stories. I will tell you how I was able to raise 32 million specifically. I'll break it down, show you what step by step what I did to raise over 32 million naira in a short period of time. How I was able to raise 1 million naira, how 10 million and 32 million naira. And every time I want to raise money, what strategies I put in place, to raise funds for what I do. And if you do that, you see, you don't have a money problem. What you do have is a strategy problem, an idea problem, or a people problem. You have not worked on the idea such that it is attractive. You've not worked on a strategy to communicate value to the people, or you don't know how to network and navigate your way to the hearts of the people so they can part and give you money. So if you understand these things, it will really help you. I hope I gave you value. Thank you. So what I want you to do right now is I'm going to be posting some of our materials. We have some very powerful materials that will help you. For those of you who really, really want to get to feel and listen and read and learn again and again, I encourage you to get this work. This is how to sell anything to anyone. I don't know if you're seeing it clearly. All right, how to sell anything to anyone. It's a very powerful book, audio. It will help you. And then we also have something here, goal setting and actualization. Goals and actualization helps you to set your goals, your targets, and then to meet them. And then for those of you who are into multi-level marketing, those of you into network marketing, there's a material here I have called How to Succeed in Network Marketing. And then of course I teach a lot on public speaking, and we teach a lot on public speaking here. So I will encourage you to get Public Speaking Made Easy. It's an audio that you should get, and I will put the amount. All of them are very affordable. I'll put the amount of them. Okay, what I'll do is I'll put my number. You can WhatsApp me that number, and I furnish you with all the details that you need. On Wednesday or Thursday, we'll be back here again. This time not to talk about money, but to talk about public speaking. And then what we'll be looking at is the myths. There are certain myths in public speaking that people have, certain misunderstanding and about public speaking. We're going to be studying them and making sure you understand it a lot more so that you can become the speaker that you're supposed to be. All right, so see you guys. Have a great week ahead of you. Make plenty money, and make sure to get as many people to join us in this group as you can. Share the link, get people to join, share, because you'll be getting so much value in this place. God bless you and have a great week.